Welcome to the Overwatch hero main tier list on whether they are a green flag person, a red flag person, or somewhere in the middle of yellow where they're pretty sus, but it depends a little. You know what I mean? First up, if they play D.Va. Chat, would you say if someone is main is D.Va, would you say they're a green flag? I would. I'd say D.Va players are typically green flag. Listen, some of you are saying yellow. I'm interested in why you say yellow. Like, what would make you want to say yellow? I guess there's like the Reddit meme of like the person who only plays D.Va. You know, I guess that could be a yellow flag. But even so though, they're typically nice, fun people. I think D.Va's definitely a green flag. I think that nobody would say it's a red flag. I'd say most people would say a green flag. A few people say sus. I think that overall is probably a green flag. Most D.Va players that I've met are green flag people. Yellow if they're the uwu type. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I wouldn't say those are red flags. You know? I don't think it's not personally for me, you know, but it doesn't make them bad, you know? I don't know. I'm definitely on the green side. Horny but nice people. You know what? I'll give you that. You know, there's definitely the stereotype, I guess, behind it, but sure. I'll give you that. Winston, if they're a Winston main, this is the ultimate green flag. There is arguably no bigger green flag, I think I'd say, than they're a Winston main. Winston mains are not like overly egotistic. They understand that they're playing mostly a big brain character, and it's not that mechanically intensive, so they're not like the Adderall sniffing hit scan enjoyer. But at the same time, though, they can surprise you with how good their mechanical skill is, you know, with their juggling ability. They keep it interesting, and they're typically very humble. They're typically very humble people. So, you know, I gotta give the Winston players an easy green flag. If you disagree, sorry. Zarya. This might be a bit controversial, but I think Zarya mains are a red flag. Hear me out. You need to hear me out on this, okay? Before you freak out. Typically, Zarya mains, are failed DPS players. Or they're DPS players who are flexing and playing tank because they're tired of losing because of, quote, bad tank player. It's the truth. They get too many games in a row with a shit tank player and they're like, I can do better than this. So they pick Zarya. I have not met a Zarya player who is not extremely aggressive and doesn't have some type of ego. Most Zarya players got a big ol' ego, but they are playing the easier version of DPS because they're tired of getting outskilled. Just saying. Orisa player. If they're an Orisa main and not somebody that was forced to play Orisa for the last 3 years, I would argue they're a red flag. However, nowadays, I don't think there's a person out there that like loads up the game and goes, you know what? I'm excited to play Orisa today. They play Orisa because they're trying to be helpful. They're typically pretty bad. They're normally low rank, and they go, you know, I want to be the guy that, you know, tanks for my team. And they stand there in like bronze, and they try not to die because they're trying to do the job of tank. They're also a little bit of bullies, though. Sometimes they like to bully Reinhardt players because it's the only way they get to feel something. But most Orisa players are typically flexing. They have to play it because they're trying to be helpful. And I think people that try to be flexible to give other people a good time aren't that bad. I think they're pretty good people. But if they're a hardcore, true only Orisa player, they're typically kind of annoying. So I'm going to give this one a sus. All right, chat, Doomfist. Red flag, green flag, or sus? You guys are all spamming red. Yeah, I agree with you. Doom players typically a little bit toxic. Rightfully so. They get bullied. They have to put a lot of hours in. They have to play their hero perfectly just to do the same thing that other characters are doing. They've had it rough. They're tainted. They need therapy. They've gone through a lot of shit from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2. It's not your job to fix them. It's not your job to fix them. They need professional help, and you ain't gonna be the one to do it. They might look attractive. You might be like, hey, you know, kind of flashy. They're going through the sky, punch, 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 take over lobbies, and you're like, yeah, that guy looks awesome. But on the opposite side of that, cuckoo, crazy. Don't go near them. Junker Queen. It depends. I think Junker Queen's a sus in the middle. Definite yellow. Depends on why they're playing Junker Queen. Depends on why. Why are you a Junker Queen player? You play her because she's strong? Or do you play her because you have mommy issues? If you play her because she's strong, understandable. If you play her because you got mommy issues, I don't know, man. Not for me. Not for me. Mommy issues, please elaborate. No. Ball, if you're a ball player, I don't know. Ball players are kind of degenerates. Like, true ball players are kind of degenerates. Think of Beaver. Beaver's kind of an outlier. I'm leaning towards red. Ball players are pesky. They're kind of annoying. They can kind of bully, and then they also get bullied, so then they take it out on you. I think it's more of a red flag than a green flag, or even a yellow. I don't think the ball players are, you know, I think they're kind of annoying. In Overwatch 1, I would have given it a yellow flag, but like, your only tank is ball. If they don't know what they're doing and they're not going for kills, you basically just don't have a point contester the entire time, you know? You don't have a front line. You're basically on your own. So if they're a shitty ball player and they're just rolling around, they're like, guys, why are you all dying? It's, well, because they're just walking over and killing us, Mr. Ball. What are you doing? Yeah, like, you know, they're sometimes unaware. So, on average, red flag. Hog. Does anything else even need to be said? I don't think anything else needs to be said. Tell me a single hog player that's a green flag. I'll wait. They don't exist. They're not real. They're figments of your imagination. They're not real. No, they're not real. I don't know what you're talking about. Nope. I even seeing names in chat. Nope. You need examples? Hog players are delusional. The character was overtuned and overbuffed for years. Literally ruined the game. It's not fun. It came in Overwatch 2. Sucked. Wasn't fun to play against. Got a bunch of nerfs, and the character's still low-key good. It's just not dominant anymore. All the Hog players still pick Hog, and they still win games. If Hog was truly as bad as they say, I don't think that'd be possible. Because in the seasons where Ryan was real bad, oh, if you didn't have like good players on your team, you got bullied and just lost. So, I'm just saying. Anyways, so, delusional. Sigma players. If they actually main Sigma and like legitimately like that's their number one player, like that's what they play, I'm gonna go yellow. I'm willing to go green though. I think this is more like upper yellow. This is upper yellow to green. Now, the reason why I say yellow is because Sigma's been good since he released. He's never been bad. Never once. So, there's two possibilities here. They main Sigma because they just want to, like, you know, play things that are good and try to be the best for their team. Or they play Sigma because they're extremely... they only, like, they have, like, I wouldn't even say routines. It's like they're only going to do what they're in their bubble. You know, like, they're not adventurous. They don't expand. They have very narrow horizons. You know, they don't want to go too far because there's no point. Because they've been playing a character for 3 years, and it's been good all 3 years. They've never had to go through any hardship of the character being bad. So we've never got to see their true colors. So it's like It's like a green yellow, you know what I mean? But yeah, I would say Sigma is, I'm gonna put it over here, like it's top of yellow. It's the top of yellow, but it's not, it's like not the worst of the yellows. It's more towards green, but they haven't been tested enough yet, so we don't know. Rein players. I mean, it's easy. Let's be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves. You could say it's biased, but no, it's not. Most Rein players typically want to be the protector type, you know? There are certain ones that give bad names, right? To the ones that are like, what are you all doing? You all suck. I'm the only one doing anything. But that exists with all the tanks, realistically. But you remember the Rein ones because they'll do it more often, because like they're just used to getting bullied. They're used to getting bullied, and nobody ever wants to play the correct comps to play with it. You can play most of these other tanks without the correct comps. Rein, you can't. So they're so used to getting like smoked for 7 years that it's like it's built up to the point where they're like, please help me. So typically they're very nice. They're typically very good. Red flag, bro. BP, I think you're off the deep end on that one. Tell me one Rein player who's a red flag. Tell me one. Tell me one. There's no way you all just started spamming me. What did I do? Nah, you're nuts. You guys are nuts. Me, Cloudy, Bowie, Super, all green flags. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. Super, green flag, question marks? What do you mean? Super's a stretch? Nah, y'all are crazy. Y'all are literally out of your minds. Anyways, Ramattra. There's something about Ramattra. You know what I mean? You know, like he kind of like, he's got like that, you know, he's hurt, needs help vibe, but is just trying to do the best for you. It's someone who's maybe a little damaged, but they know their worth. They know they've, you know, they know that they aren't the best person out there. They're not like stuck up, and they do care. They just don't. They're the type that doesn't always say I love you. They're not the type that always, you know, is like super cuddly, but you know they care. They're like an older divorced dad, you know? You get what I'm saying? Like they're probably hurt and they probably should say it more, but they don't. But you know, at the end of the day, they care. That's just me. That's what I think. All right, soldier. Are they like an actual soldier main? Mostly red flag. This is Call of Duty players. These are the people that come over from Call of Duty and they're kind of annoying. I think it's mostly a red flag. It's like your gateway. Like you just like you're not experimental. You don't really know. Kind of like stuck in your ways, and you're like, oh, you know, this game should be like me. Like a game should cater to me. I think that this is probably one of the bigger red flags for the whole DPS category. I have not met a extremely pleasurable soldier player. Other than Only Legs was pretty pleasurable for a long time, but I haven't seen him in a while. I wonder how he's doing. Ashe. Ashe is a yellow flag. Hear me out. Ashe players are finicky. There's not many Ashe mains, and the ones that do claim to be Ashe mains don't play always Ashe. They dabble a little Cassidy, they dabble in a little bit of Widow, a little bit of Sojourn. You know what I mean? Like they're basically the hit scan players who don't have a dedicated hit scan to play, you know? Looking at Warren here. Well, I guess it kind of works. That kind of lines up. Warren doesn't play always Ashe, doesn't play a ton of it right now. It's like they're like, you know, they're willing to be flexible. They're willing, but like they're not, they got some commitment issues, you know? They might have some commitment issues. They're fun people, but it's like you're fun to like hang out with, you're fun to be around. We'll have a good time, but I ain't taking you home to meet my mom. That ain't happening. Bastion? If they're a Bastion main, this might be a scalding hot take. Whoops. But I think they're a green flag. I actually think they're a green flag most of the time. Like, yeah, they're pesky and annoying as shit to play against, but like, they're kind of funny, you know? There's very few Bastion players that are not funny as shit. Like, they know what they're doing. They know what they're playing. A lot of the times they're kind of casual. You know, they know what they're doing. They're not pretending to be something different. They know who they are, and they're true to themselves. Might not be good for you, but it's okay. You know what you're seeing is what you'll get. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, like certain people, you know, where you're kind of like, you're trying to figure out what type of person they are, and it's like, well, what am I seeing, like, publicly? Is that who they actually are, or are they putting on a face, you know? Bastion, you don't gotta worry. Bastion mains are very much, you know who they are from the jump, you know? True, Overwatch 1 Bastion was red. He's reformed in green now. Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm mostly talking about Overwatch 2. Torb mains are just funny. Dude, like, think about all the Torb mains throughout history. They're all funny, you know? They're kind of annoying sometimes, so I'd be willing to put them in yellow. But most of the time, they know what they're there for. They're there to put down a turret, spam some chokes, have a good time. They typically, yeah, they want to have the funny hammer duels. They live for the meme. They live and die by the meme. And I can respect that. It's, again, you don't got to worry who this person is. You know who they are from the spot, from the jump. And I think that's a bit of a green flag, you know? I hate trying to figure out what a person's like. You know, because there's a lot of people that put on a facade or a face, you know? And it's like, they want people to like them.
No May finds.
Torb players don't give a f if you like them or not. They play Torb. And that's what they do. I think that's important, you know? I don't think they're going to always be, like, very tentative to your needs and stuff, but you kind of know what you got into from there. You know what I mean? So, Cassidy. I'd give Cassidy players a yellow flag. Definitely hard yellow flag. Because it depends. You're either going to get the Adderall sniffing hit scan player who's, like, trying to win every game and is, like, really annoying to deal with, and they're kind of, like, complain and they're kind of annoying. Or you get the Cassidy enjoyer who's just trying to play aim labs in a video game, and you can't really be mad at them for it because they're typically, you know what they're doing. There's not a lot there. They're not very substantial a lot of times. It's very surface level, you know? There could be some red and gray areas there, but overall though, it's all right. It's okay. They're not the worst. I wouldn't say they're the best, but, like, they're there. They're definitely there. Echo players. Yeah, I don't trust Echo players. Yeah, Echo players, I don't know. Echo players are weird. They kind of want to, like, they always want a mercy pocket, but they're just like a inferior Pharah, unless it's like someone who really knows what they're doing, and that's rare and more far between. They typically play out of voice. They're antisocial. They're basically they're the Widow players of flex DPS. The only difference is Widow players are typically hot. Echo players are not. So they don't even get somewhat of a pass. So, you know, they like to morph to what you're doing. They typically rage. They're kind of annoying. I'm gonna give them a big old red flag there. Genji players. Genji players is actually kind of a hard one. I think it's a big yellow because it depends. It depends on what type of Genji player you're talking about. A lot of them are pesky and kind of annoying, but there's also a lot of them that just understand what they're there to play Overwatch. They're there to play Genji, and they're there to, you know, enjoy maybe what they felt 7 years ago. They've been bullied. Their character's been weak for a long time. They were good for like 2 weeks and then got nerfed for 2 years. And then it was good again in Overwatch 2 for like a month, and then it's got hard nerfed into the ground. You know, if they stay committed, that tells me through the good and the bad, they're committed. They don't have commitment issues. They don't have commitment issues. That's good.
Molding Asmphas every Genji is red. If you say different, you're lying to yourself and you are the molder. Keep spamming for heals, you feeding for Zim, waging a war in chat, and take a shower for once, you smellies.
Listen. Okay, listen. That's kind of true.
They should be green, but Blizzard nerfed them to yellow.
It's kind of true. The spamming I need healing is kind of annoying, right? It is kind of annoying. It's a meme. Everybody knows it. But, like, don't all characters say a lot of I need healing stuff when they're really deep? Genji's just slightly more annoying than the rest, so I feel like people, like, lock into it more, you know? it's slightly more annoying. It's the same thing with Tracer when you hear like the over there, over there, over there, over there, over here, over there, over here, over there. Like in like 5 months from now, everyone's gonna hate Tracer. Like it's coming, you know, it's getting there. Genjis have ego that are massive though. Yes, but they kind of deserve it, to be honest with you. It's one of the most mechanically intensive characters in the game. They actually requires unbelievable skill.
Months.
If you have a good Ana that just nanos them every once in a while, they're typically kind of happy. I don't think they're a total green flag. Don't get me wrong. They got some issues. They got some severe issues, but I think red flag is a little harsh. I think it's a little harsh. Now, speaking of red flags, Hanzo. Hanzo players, dude. Woo-wee! If you are an unironic Hanzo main, ah man, you're just a Widow player. You're just a Widow player that isn't confident enough to just play Widow. That's it. Hanzo is just Widow without the capabilities of being able to aim as well. You're not as confident. You have the Sonic Arrow and the Storm Arrow to basically be a tank buster or a shield buster, but also get to keep the ability of one-shots, and you don't even have to aim for all the one-shots. You can just spam a choke. You just spam the choke and hope somebody walks into it. Plus, with how big the projectile is, if like Tracer goes near you, you can it's a lot easier to hit the one-shot on a Hanzo than it is to hit on a Widow, you know? Widow is scarier. Widow is way scarier. A good Widow is way scarier than a good Hanzo, but a good Hanzo is a lot easier to play than a good Widow. Just saying. So, you're just a less confident Widow player. Red flag to me. Junkrat. I think it's a solid yellow. If you're like the gold player who just like picks Junkrat because you want to see big numbers and then you can rage at your teammates because you have bigger numbers on the scoreboard, red flag. Those guys they're not confident. They have no mechanical skill. So like, one, they suck because they can't control. They have no mechanical skill. Number two, they're fragile egos because they want the bigger number on the scoreboard. So then they can be like, excuse me, Sombra, why are you throwing my game? You only have 2,000 damage. I have 9,000 damage. You suck. But meanwhile, your 9,000 damage has been into the Reinhardt the entire time. So they've got like 19 support ults and they just roll you. So like, they're not very self-aware, but there's the Junkrats that are self-aware and they're kind of funny. You know, they put traps down, hide behind corner, spam beep beep, boom boom. You know, they're a good time. There can be good ones. There can be good ones. So, anyways, it's just funny. They're typically not on the good side, but the ones that are good are very good. So, yeah, you're just a terrible person if you're a main. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not even gonna ask for chat's input. You're just, you know, you're kind of a masochist. You like to see people suffer. You don't have the greatest mechanical skill. It's just way easier to just shut down their tank the entire game and do nothing. And it's kind of annoying. So the only reason I'm not putting it next to Hog is because Hog is just really smelly and bad. And Mei is at least, you know, at least you're just a bad person. You're not smelly and bad too. You're just, you know, you just have some issues and probably should seek therapy. Pharah. Pharah means I actually don't mind. I think they're actually typically green flags. They're actually nice people because they know they live and die by the help of someone else. And that self-awareness is nice. No, hear me out. Hear me out. If you play Pharah without a Mercy, you kind of suck. So how are you going to get someone to play Mercy every game? You have to be somewhat considerate. You have to understand. Yeah, they're kind of annoying to play against, right? They spam you out. But, like, that's mostly balance. That's mostly Overwatch not knowing how to balance, like, flyer heroes. That's not actually, like, how Pharah works, though. Pharah players are typically nice. I haven't met a really mean Pharah player. Like, really, like, every time I bump into a Pharah main on ladder who has like a duo, like a Mercy duo that plays with them, they're typically very nice people. Typically. There's a couple that are kind of annoying, but mostly pretty nice people. And the only way you're going to get to win games and have someone play around you is if, you know, is if you're kind of nice. Well, what about if the fair player doesn't get the mercy pocket they wanted? You know what? You actually got me there. You got me there. Because if they don't get the mercy pocket that they wanted, they're probably kind of annoying. They're like, can we get a mercy? And then no one gets the mercy. He's like, guys, can we please get a mercy? Please? And it's like, then they still don't get a mercy. Like, eventually, now it's like, they didn't get what they asked for, so now they turn out kind of mean. You know what? I'll give you that. I'll give you that, actually. I'll give it a yellow. High yellow. But yellow nonetheless. Reaper players. This is a hard one, chat. Reaper players, what do you think? I think the Reaper players are just like the Junkrat players, but worse. They're the Junkrat players, but worse. Typically low elo, not very good, look for big numbers. They're kind of annoying. I just don't think that, you know, I think they got problems. I think they got issues. Like, especially if they embody Reaper, you know what I mean? And they have the same personality, like the little edgy, yeah, little edgy jerks. Yeah, they got the little edgy personality. It's like, it's not like, who would I say is like kind of edgy, but it's worth it? Widow. I think like Widow players are kind of edgy, but like Widow players are typically kind of attractive, so I'm okay with it. Reaper, there's just nothing. They just smell. They're kind of edgy, kind of annoying. Think they're the hottest shit, but unless like they're shooting their other tank, they don't really do a lot. So, you know, I just don't, I don't think there's an upside. If you're mean, you better also be hot. Yeah, that's kind of, you know, I think that fits. You know, I think it kind of fits. Sojourn. I think Sojourns are very much like Cassidy and Ashe, you know? You're like an Ashe Cassidy player, but also Widow, but like, you know, you're kind of in the middle where, you know, you get the one shot, but you kind of don't. You know, like they're not like the worst, they're not like the most mean, but like they're certainly like not the most pleasurable people, you know? They're okay. Character's kind of annoying, but I don't think the people who play the character are that bad. I think it's just typically the hit scan meta players, you know? I haven't met any, I don't think the people are not just flexing off of a different DPS to play Sojourn. I don't think any Sojourn main I've seen is like that evil, you know? Very middle of the road. Sombra. You're just evil. You're just an evil little bastard. You like to ruin other people's fun. You know, there's a fun Sombra player that sits in your backline and goes like, boop, boop, boop. You know, like those are kind of funny, but those are very few and far between. There's not many Sombra memers. Typically, people pick Sombra because they want to ruin someone else's fun. Yeah, that's a big red flag for me. I'm not a, you know, I don't need to have fun by ruining other people's fun. I'm gonna just say it. But I will say that the Sombra players are typically pretty smart. They are pretty smart typically because they have to be, because the character does so little damage. They make up for it with smart plays, but that actually is kind of scary because they're analytical, not emotional. So it's like dating a computer. You know what I mean? Like, think about that, where they're just gonna always be cold and calculated. And if you ever come to them with your problems, if you're not like, you ever had someone where you're trying to like talk to somebody and you're like, you're not really looking to have, you know, your problem solved. You're just kind of like looking to talk about it. They just like, I don't understand why you're upset. You could solve it with doing X35B. And it's like, what? But not really, because like this. And it's like, yeah, but then you can just try this. It's like, dude, we're not trying to solve the problem here. I'm just annoyed because X reason, you know? So yeah, I don't think so. I'm not a big one on the Sombras. Not looking for it. Sim. I'd give Sim a solid yellow. I think Sim gets a solid yellow. They're not the best. They're slightly annoying. Some of them are annoying. Some of them get really, really kind of nasty. Some of them really suck to deal with. Like some of them, like especially like the Sim 1 tricks. It's like, bro, we're trying to flex around you, and they'll still get mad. Those ones are the red flags. But there's also Sim players that are kind of nice, and like they just kind of understand what they're doing, and they're just there to play the game and have a good time. So I can respect it, just not my cup of tea. So I'd give him a solid yellow flag. Some people say red, but I actually didn't say anything positive. Wait, maybe it is a red flag. Nah, some of them are funny. Nah, some of the Sims are actually kind of funny. Every once in a while, you get the funny Sim player, and it's worth it. So they're typically kind of funny. Yeah, I think Sim players, they're kind of funny, but there's also bad ones that kind of give you, you know, they give you like a, all right, dude, you didn't really gotta be like that type of vibe. So some are chill for sure. Tracer, you know, I'm gonna give him a green flag. I think Tracer players are pretty much a green flag. Skilled, kind of know what they're doing. They can kind of work anywhere. They're not like, I don't know, I've never met like a really mad, evil Tracer player. They're typically kind of chill. They're caring, they want to win, but at the same time, they don't typically like flame and get annoyed. So I'd give them a green. If they told me that they're a Tracer main, I respect that they are committed to one of the most difficult characters in the game. Widow players. This is gonna be controversial. They're kind of annoying. They're kind of pesky. But all the Widow players are just hot. I'm gonna just say it. They just are. They kind of are, you know? And so, like, you're kind of trading a little crazy. Yeah, of course you have, like, the Adderall hit scan and enjoyers, you know what I mean? Like, you got those, but, like, we're putting those aside. I'm just saying, you know, you might disagree, and, you know, I respect it, but they typically take care of themselves. I don't know.
You're gonna tell me the Widow player who finally plays comp after sitting in headshot-only lobbies for 3 hours is hot? Sombra gets a red for ruining other people's fun, but Widow gets a green? Food tier list level take from you.
Yeah, but Widow's mechanical skill is a giant gateway. Like it's like Overwatch isn't all about mechanical skill. Don't get me wrong, but it's such a barrier that not many people can pull it off. You know? Anyone can pick Sombra and just keep hacking you over and over and being annoying, but not anyone can just pick up Widow and destroy the whole lobby, you know? The ones that can are really annoying, but not saying everyone can do that. I'm just saying. All right, Zen. The character's kind of broken, but honestly, the people who play it aren't really bad. I've only met like a handful of really annoying Zen players, and they don't even truly play Zen. They more play meta. Zen players are, I don't know. They're typically kind of quiet. You know what I mean? They don't really talk. They kind of just hang out. So, yeah, I don't know. Most Zen players are kind of, they're typically kind of quiet. Kind of annoying. But they also stay in their own lane a lot of times. If it's an off-meta pick, like when Zen's not good, those players are typically just like, they don't complain. They just do their thing. They're kind of good. But I would also say that most Zen players know that their character's busted, but they don't care. So I'll give you points for being self-aware, but I'm not giving you points because you don't want it to change. So I'll give you the yellow flag, and that's generous. Lifeweaver. This is a tough one. It depends on what type of Lifeweaver player, you know? It depends. Do you play Lifeweaver to troll your friends? Or do you play it because you think it's going to be helpful? Either one is still funny. Because you're trying to troll your friends, you're hilarious. But if you're actually trying to be helpful, you know, you're trying to be a good person. You're trying. You're just kind of stupid, you know? And it's okay. We can teach you. You're willing to learn. You know, you're just trying. You're just trying, you know? I can give you that. You're trying. You need a little help. But it's not, you know, it's not like you need...
Just had a game with the most awful Zen, not that he was bad, but the fact he was extremely rude to everyone, and that's been 90% of the Zens I've had.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't really like a lot of Zen players, but they're typically kind of self-aware. And that's why I give them points. I'm going to give the Lifeweaver players a green flag because they try to be nice. They try to be good. They try to heal you. They're not like going around looking for kills constantly. They're trying to be, you know, decent. Ana players?
Frown.
Yeah, straight to green flag. Ana players are a big green flag. For sure. Easy green flag. Everybody loves Ana players. They're nice.
Very happy for all 2 Lifeweaver mains.
They're very nice. They're enablers. They try to like always cheer for you. They want you to perform. They don't even ask for credit. They can take care of themselves. They're strong and independent. They'll be there to support you, and you don't even have to worry about being there for them all the time. You can very easily be 50-50 with an Ana player. And hell, if those days come where they need to pick up the slack and it needs to be 80-20, they're there for you. They aren't going to complain either. They don't complain. They know that if they can't accomplish something, they can ask for help or improve on their own. They're strong and independent. Big green flag. Also, I just changed my mind. Zen's going to red flag, actually. Anyways, we're gonna keep going. Baptiste. Bat players. You know, I like Bat players. Bat players are typically really nice. I like Bat players. Bat players are really good. They're actually very, very nice. They do a lot of damage. So, like, they're offensive. They're confident. They know what they're doing. They're there to get shit done. You know? Bat players know they're there to get shit done. They don't feel helpless. They know that everything's within their own power. They're strong and independent, much like Ana players. I would argue that Ana players and Bat players are very similar. They're the same type of vibe, you know? Very big, very, very, very big green flags for both of them. Brig players. This is a hard one. Well, hang on. Wait a minute. I was going to say, Brig players is like the support Widow. You know? They're kind of annoying, but like, they're typically kind of hot. So, I don't know. It's hard because they're pesky and they're annoying, but like, you know, there's like certain things you can kind of, you know, you can figure it out. You know what I mean?
Just remember, if Brig isn't in green, Violet is gonna sick a slime army on you.
I was already leaning that way. I was already leaning towards like, listen, they're not great for you. I don't know how it's gonna be long term, but in the short term, I don't know. I'm kind of into it. Just saying. Not the people who just pick Brig because she's strong in meta, but the people who actually like Brig and enjoy playing her. They know what they're there for. They're there. They know what they're there for, and you know, I can kind of respect that. And they're typically the hot ones of the support characters. Just saying. I'm just saying. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. I'm sorry, and I don't know what to tell you. Kiriko players. Easy red flag. Holy stay away from these. Stay away as far as physically possible. Do not interact. Honestly, might even go down here. Actually, might even go into the hog tier. Crazy. Literal psychos. Literal psychos need help. Like, need so much therapy. It's like, I hope you don't live in America type of therapy, you know? Listen, they're annoying. They think they're the shit. They're not even confident. They're overconfident. They basically tell you to go f yourself. They don't care about healing. They don't care about saving you. They're there to go on the flank, look for headshots with their kunais. They don't have the mechanical skill 99% of the time. They just pretend they're actually a DPS player. They go in, throw 3 or 4 kunais, waste the Suzu on themselves, and then TP away. Meanwhile, the whole time you've been sitting on the front line, swinging or doing whatever tanking you're doing. No heals, no heals. Suzu, not for you. TP's away. By the time they look back, you've already fallen over and died. Absolutely the worst to play with. They're most annoying, very selfish, think that they have the biggest amount of impact, think they're the star, think that they are the main character. They don't care about nothing. They think that it's the best character in the game. Not only actually, but because of design-wise. I'm sorry, but come. Absolutely not. No, thank you. Lucio players, easy green flag. Anyone who says otherwise is crazy. Lucio is always a green flag. They want to enable other people. They're always there to help. They're always there to try to save you. They're silly little guys. They're always trying to fuddy. But yeah, they're typically very, very nice. Typically. Very, very, very rare that they're not. Funny, nice. They want to be there for you. They want to play together. They want to have a good time. They want to hold W. They're always in for an adventure. Green flag. For sure. Mercy. Let's do Moira first, actually. Let's do Moira first. Moira players. High red. Just listen, hear me out. Hear me out on this, okay? There's a couple different types of Moira players. There's the backline Moira that you don't see the entire game. And then they're one of two people. They're really fucking good and they know what they're doing and they're confident. Or they're confident and they suck balls. You know? You know the difference between someone who's like confident and well put together and like they have a reason to be confident, and then the ones that are confident just to be confident and there's not much else there? You don't know which one you're getting. Alright? I'm just saying. There's the third one, which is like basically the heal bot that's trying to, you know, they're like, oh, I'm trying to help everybody. But they're also still kind of annoying, you know, because it's like, they've run out of P. They're like, guys, I don't have any healing left. You gotta stop taking so much damage. Like they don't know how to like do all the resources and stuff. So they're kind of annoying. It's like, bro, this is on you, and like there's other things you could do. They're kind of blaming like they're not having things on you, and you know they don't have a whole lot of accountability. So it's like, you know, it's fine. All right, Mercy. I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I need to think about this one real fast. This is hard. Okay, before we put a ranking, let's talk about this, okay? Let's talk about this. It depends on a lot of things, okay? Which Mercy player are we talking about? Are we talking about like the hardcore Mercy enjoyer, like one trick, you know, a specialist that don't play anything else? Are we talking about the overly aggressive battle Mercy?
Get your torches ready, folks.
Are we talking about, you know, the heal bot, or the pocket your DPS hit scan player until their wheels fall off?
Pokemon with all this stall.
It depends on which one you're talking about, you know? It depends, okay? It depends, because there's like the healing, nurturing type of Mercy. And then there's the more aggressive, like get in your face type. You know, it depends on so many things. It depends. You know, you don't know which one you're getting. You might get the one that's like very aggressively defensive towards like themselves or towards like whoever they're playing with. You have like the more nurturing types, like the more mommy types. You know what I mean? Like there's
friends you have to walk eggshells around. They are super kind and supportive, but they also have this inner darkness that is frightening.
Kinda true, actually. Kinda true. They're kind of hot, though. You know? So, like, where do you put it, you know? Because it's like, you gotta understand, I'm a tank player, you know? You don't really bring much to the table for me. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mercy isn't in red, we riot.
You don't bring much to the table for me. You know, we don't get no love, you know? We're kind of, I don't know, off to the side. You know what I mean?
Blink twice if there's a Mercy Glock pointed at you off camera.
It's hard to say, you know? On average. I typically like them. They're typically nice. Most of them are really nice. But they kind of fall under the Widow category. You know? They're kind of under the Widow category.
Really gonna give Mercy that ranking? In Pride Month? Oh boy. Might as well delete your Twitter, change your Twitch title, grow a mustache, change your name and relocate to Utah and become a hermit just so the Mercy community can't find you. If you are fast enough, you might outrun them as they are waiting for their taxi to arrive to spawn.
Oh my god, that was so good. Oh my god. Oh my god. Listen, okay. Hear me out. Hear me out on this.
Blink twice if Somnus is in your home RN, showing you her food takes.
Listen, in the non-mercy metas, you get one in your team and you're like, but you can't even be mad at them because like they're true to themselves.
Mercy
they know
is
what
a
they're
red
there
flag,
for.
but Flat swears.
You know they're there to just do their own thing. I'm just saying. Okay? They're a little crazy. They're kind of a little bit nuts. You know what I mean? Like, they got some issues. They're passionate. That's a word for it. A little delusional. But they're typically very nice people. Flats likes crazy? No comment. They're a little nuts, but, you know, it's the same thing as the Widow players, you know what I mean? Like, they're kind of hot. They're kind of hot, so kind of like it evens out, you know? And like the other qualities is they're there. You know, they want to be like the healing type, or they want to, you know, like enable you. They want to be protected, you know? Sometimes they even want to protect you, you know? So like, those things are good. You know, there's certain things you gotta look out for. But on average, you know what I mean? I think it's fine. I think this is a good list. If hot makes you green, why is Hog in his own tier? You know exactly why. That's all I gotta say.